Well, that was cutting it kind of close. Hi, everybody. It is Monday, and I am laughing because I worked last week to try to avoid this thing hanging in front of my forehead, and I'm guessing that it has just drifted down. So I didn't avoid anything in that sense, but we'll leave it where it is today, and I'll mess with it later and see if I can't get it figured out. But this is the camera that shows my workspace when I get ready to do that. So, anyway, I have a cabin, peaceful cabin project to share with you all today. I'm going to do it two ways with, well, the measurement is just slightly different for one of them. And then I'm going to share you a sneak peek of the November card club and remind you that you have until November the 10th to subscribe to the card club and get this kit, get this month's kit. So let me see if I can do this. Oops, hold on a second. I did that the wrong way. That's not quite what was supposed to happen. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, so I've got my grid paper here, and I'm going to turn it around because it's this flower that tends to get in my way. And let me see if I can move this there. I think that's pretty good. Put myself up there. So I should be live on YouTube, and I'm just going to grab YouTube because I'm still kind of new to the whole YouTube thing. And so I want to make sure that it is working. I did figure out how I can see your comments as they come in, so I should be able to see them. Excuse me. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so what are we working with today? So first is that Peaceful Cabin stamp set. This is beautiful. We use this, Hope and I used this in our retreat in September and October. Well, it was one retreat. I went one weekend with a group and she went one weekend with a group. And then I'm going to use the dies that go along with it. I've already done the die cutting. Sorry, that is definitely in the way. I've already done the die cutting because this looked like it was going to get a little lengthy otherwise. Let me find. So let's see, what page are you on? I can always tell when it's almost time for a new catalog because my current one starts showing a lot of wear. Okay, so here's the Peaceful Place Suite, and it starts on page 36 of the mini catalog and then goes over here. You can see this beautiful, beautiful paper, this glittery ribbon, these beautiful sequins. There's an embossing folder and even some velvet sheets that go with it. So today we're just working with the stamp set and the dies. We're using a different ribbon and we're using a different paper. The paper that we're using is actually one that was a Celebration product in, oh my gosh, July and August and September. The dates are all a blur. But anyway, we're using the this beautiful paper with it. I can't think of the name of it right now. I will include a supply list when this all makes it to my blog. So the way this works is I'm on YouTube right now, and then I will share this to Facebook, and I will post it to my blog. And then if you're subscribed to my blog, you'll get an email tomorrow morning that takes you to the blog. And in my blog, I'll have all of the supplies listed. There'll just be a short list in the YouTube video description. And for some reason, my watch is blowing me up. Okay, so what else did I want to show you? Sorry, my watch blowing up has really distracted me. with the November Club, because it's harder for us this time of year to find ways to get together, I want to include as much as I can in my classes. So with the November class, you can add on a class that is using the Be Jolly stamp set, which is on page 29. These fun little Santas. So I have a class that features that, so you can add that on to your kit this month. Get a second class, or there is one with the I thought it was right here. Peaceful Deer. Where'd you go? Oh my gosh. Here, these Peaceful Deer, and that is what the paper I just showed you coordinated with. So, so 2 different classes that you can add on at a reduced price that I'm pretty excited about. All right, so let me show you what we have today and talk about how this can be so different with just a slight change. And I've written myself all kinds of notes over here. So the first one I want to show you is the one that I think is the more traditional way. So I've got a piece of thick basic white cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 11, and then I have a piece of, where'd my black go? Oh my gosh, don't tell me I lost my black. That's what I get for, oh no, it's right here, sorry, freaking out. I have a piece of black, a piece of white. This piece is actually cut the entire card front, so it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And because this camera is down so low, you are too close. So let me see if I can zoom out a little bit and get that a little bit better. Okay, I think that's a little better. Okay, until I can get the camera up out of my forehead, we'll do it this way. Okay, so this piece of Designer Series paper, this printed paper, is the full card front. And then the black and the white have just a narrow margin. I have already stamped the cabin and used the die cut to cut this part out. And I did that as a time saver because what I really wanted to show you was how just changing up the placement of our layers makes such a difference. And you didn't need to see me so much do this stamping and die cutting. But this die cut is a little different in that it just cuts around the top and leaves you whatever border thickness that you have along the bottom. Now for this card, we're going to put a piece of ribbon across the top. So I'm just going to kind of layer this up to give us an idea of where to place things. So I'd probably place that right there, and then we're going to stamp this "May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season." So I'm getting a block, and I'm going to stamp that in Memento Black. Spin it around, see if I can grab it. So how was trick-or-treating for you all last night? It was very different for me in that I didn't trick-or-treat. I stayed home and handed out candy, which is not the norm. Hello, Johnny. That's so cool. I can see your comment pop up. So we had a good turnout. We've got a lot of little kids in the neighborhood. So without getting my head in this, I can't tell if this is entirely straight or not. So we're just going to go with it there. And that is so not straight. Okay, I'm going to have to get my head in it, I can tell. So turn this over. This is why cardstock has 2 sides, right? And if I had done this on the Stamparatus, it would have been a no-brainer. I would have already had it all lined up. But I also know too that when I made this earlier, I didn't have this kind of problem because I was willing to put my head into it. So sorry. And now okay, better. So I guess it was worth the sacrifice of my head. All right, and then we've got to stamp some trees, and I'm going to stamp those in black too. I love it. All three of these trees are on the same stamp. And I can actually trim some of this off. So let's get this good and inked up. This has got a lot of depth to it. And I just want that about there. Then I'll layer this up. Put it in place, and then I'll trim it. So again, we're just kind of building this. I've already die cut some of the trees. I love these trees. So we're going to sneak one in here. And I saw this beautiful card on the demonstrator site, I think. And I just loved it, although the person that I'm casing, I don't want to give credit to the wrong person. I can't look right now. I will mention that in my comments to make sure she gets credit, because I think this is really striking. The only thing I've done is just tried to, I'm just going to show you a couple of different ways that this lines up to make a difference. And I've got another embellishment that we'll add after we get this fairly put together. And so I cut that to give myself some room. I can go ahead while that glue is drying. I can trim off my ribbon, and I'll cut off a piece for a bow. And I can put this piece down. And it is going to, like I said, it is corner to corner here, covering the entire front. And I needed to move that just a smidge. All right, so I can, did I have some tape? I can't believe that it is almost time to stop doing Christmas cards. Well, don't know that I'm ready for that. We need to do some gift tags and such, I think. All right, now we're just going to trim this off. So bring up my paper trimmer, and it gets a little hard to see in the lights. Oh my gosh. That did not go as cleanly as I had hoped it would. Oh well. Part of that is because I didn't get this. I cannot see where my line is with the way the lights are right now. I got all kinds of excuses. Alright, so now we're going to put this on the black. And I'm using, I go back and forth using Seal and Tombow. And this has just a real narrow band. Although because of my little boo-boo down here, it's a little bigger. And this would be what I would call the traditional placement, where we have an even border, top, bottom, left, and right. And it's don't get me wrong, it is going to be beautiful. I'm merely showing you another way to show you some contrast, just a different idea. And don't let me forget to show you a sneak peek of the cards for this month's card club. Okay, there's that. And then I cut some of these little snowflakes. And I want to sprinkle them around a little bit. And these are also in the dies part of this bundle. Might be fun to even add a little wink of Stella to them. Okay, so that is our traditional version of this card. Now let's look at the one that is a little different. I wrote myself notes because I've trimmed my paper just a little differently. Now, the base and the DSP are the same. And you know what? I'm going to use glue on this one to give myself a little wiggle room in case I need to shift it a little bit. Because with the Tombow, with the liquid glue, you get a little wiggle. Okay, that looks good there. Now, same thing, we're going to build in here. So the stamping is the same. It's just where we put it on the card that is different. This is snug. All right, so again, my ribbon is going to go roughly in the same place. So while you are here watching today, be sure and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That will help me grow my audience. Those little things help more than you want. Okay, gotta stick my head under here, sorry. That feels crooked. Can't tell. All right, and then add our trees. And you're welcome to leave comments. Tell me what you've got going on. And the beauty of this is if I got this too low on the page, or, you know, I've got all this extra that I can move around a little bit. Get this out of the way. Grab a tree. got a big tree this time. Not that it doesn't matter. Well, come on. And I just want that to poke right about there. I'm going to stay in the window, I think. So that's how our cabin is going to go. And I might be smarter to check that I stay in the lines a little bit. Meaning that my bottom line is straight so that I don't have to cut that off. All right, we'll let that glue dry for a second. Bag tags, okay. Yeah, I'm doing quite a bit with that Santa Tags kit. I've got a craft night kit offering to my customers using that. I was able to pre-buy, or to cash and carry, I guess is the term, that Love Santa kit. So I have a few, and I've personalized it a little bit. Donated one to an auction at Hardin School, and then I'll have some at Mistletoe Market. Alright, so far this one's looking like it's behaving more. I should probably never have said that out loud. And I can see that I'm a little bit okay there. Okay, so I think that's there. Now, on my black, this time, oh crud, I did this a minute ago. I did this earlier today. So how do I fix this? Well, let me show you how I fix this. Come on. Well, that tape is really stuck. I'm just going to leave that there. All right. So I need this to be a little bit longer down on the bottom. So I'm going to add a piece to the top and hide it with my ribbon. So don't have mistakes, right? We just have opportunities. And some of these opportunities you have to learn more than once in a day. But this is a good thing because everybody does it. And now I've made it look like this is a little more difficult than it really is. Come on. Okay, so now I'm going to hide that seam with my ribbon. So it's not going to show. You and I are the only ones that'll know it's there. Okay, a little more Scotch tape on this side. And now I need to know how far to cut this down. And it looks like that is just about 1/4 inch. So I'm going to take about 1/8 off the top, and then see how I like it. Just let me true up that bottom edge. That was 2 thicknesses, so closer. And I'm just going to take this off the bottom again because it's kind of a ragged edge. This poor demonstrator that I've cased, I've made this look harder than it is. All right. Let's see if I can get this put together. Because yeah. Let me just stop talking and start doing. In December, I have a mega class using the gingerbread suite. So there won't be a Christmas card class for November that is not an in-person event like we've been doing. I've got a couple of big things planned that are more to go. All right. Then this gets added. And why on earth do I have that tiny bit of black showing? Urgh. It is the tiniest bit, and these lights are so hard to see. That was just going to ruin the look. Okay. So this comes up here. So Wednesday, before we do card Yahtzee, I'll have that thing out of my head. Okay, now let's add some of the snowflakes. And I've got more open space over here. I can add more. I might put one here. Come on. I just need a tiny amount. So we'll put 3 down and see what we like. And that's when the take your pick tool comes into. It's very handy to have. Come on. There we go. More than I need. It's like it forgets what to do in between each little dot. Oh. And that so needs to be over there. So once the glue is dried, I'll be able to clean that up a bit. But so what do you think? I mean, it's not a huge difference, but just by, changing up the border, I think it really pops a little bit more maybe. I don't know, something to keep in mind as you're layering up your cards is that you can really change up the look of it just by altering the placement. Sometimes we do our papers a little off, not straight. What's the word? More cattywampus is the word I want to use. I'm not quite sure that that's a word everybody understands. But this is also a way that you can mix things up easily. And there's only like an 1/8 of an inch difference in the measurements. But it's not as hard as I made it look, truly. So let me know what you think. I liked it. I'll be sure and post the name of the demonstrator that I cased. And I want to show you a sneak peek of the cards for this month's card club. You'll be the first to see them. And there won't be another showing of them until we are in class. So this is one of our lovely cards using that glittery ribbon and some rhinestones. And then this is another one. So I've added a few different colors here. So I've added some Old Olive and then some Misty Moonlight. And then this one, isn't this just beautiful? And this is paper and 2 stamps. And then this one, actually, this card actually stands up. It's a step card. And these are the papers. And I borrowed the Happiest Holidays from the Heartfelt Wishes stamp set for it. So these are the 4 card designs for November. So if you'd like to learn how to make this step card, this is one way. It's all going to be prepped for you. You'll just cut your designer series paper and do the stamping. And as always, your kit will include at least $20 of a goodie bag. So I ran a little bit long. That's probably because I made so many little boo-boos today. Here are the cards that we made. Thanks so much for being here. Be sure and show me some love. That's wonderful. I appreciate you so much for being here, Johnny. And as you watch the replays, add your comments, give me a thumbs up, and be sure and subscribe. I will see you all again on Wednesday for Card Yahtzee, and I hope that you'll all play along there. Bye-bye.